Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakadaw, Brakadaw Shai, Brakadaw, Brakadaw Shai, Brakadaw, Brakadaw Shai, the water, Kwam Yasser Allah, my Lord. I'd like to give the honors to the elders, apostles, of great millstone that teaches truth, which we know is 100% truth, the true word of our Lord. This lesson today is going to be a response to a video I saw on TikTok, man. It's going to respond back to it through spirit of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And this is young Jake, man, and like he's in his early 20s. But, tell Jake been going through it, and it's understandable, man. It's like a sense of feeling of hopelessness that's on a lot of people, especially in Babylon the Great, man. And that's all by design. But let me go ahead and play the video.
Live, and this ain't even on no depression shit or nothing, you feel me? Like, I'm just keeping it real. It just feels like life itself is a burden. Because you are born and placed on this earth, you're already forced into a system that you did not ask to be put in. You are forced to work a job that barely pays you, and if you can't work, then you're gonna be homeless and thrown in the streets. There's no second chances for nobody in life. Everything is extremely expensive. It just seems like you gotta work 3 times as hard to live a regular life, you know what I'm saying? It's already hard as a man, especially a man of color, you know what I'm saying? And it just sucks, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really do want to try and give my all into life, but it feels like I'm giving my all for a system that is rigged, you know what I mean? It's stupid. If I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, I hate being alive, and this ain't even on no.
And you can tell young Jake is catching it, man. And he's not the only one. A lot of people are catching it right now. It's not the time of partying and bullshit. He is laying down a hammer, man. And like I say, you Jakes, you are always going to be the main target. You so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans, but especially you so-called blacks because you're the main tribe. So he gonna really go after you, and you a man. So he understands that. Like I say, they always went after the men child. That's why they always during the time of Yahweh Shah when he came on the earth. The Pharaoh put out an order to kill all the male children, and even in the time of Moses, that decree has always been out. And here in our captivity, man, we're in the time of our captivity. So this devil's not going to give you a break. We had our little moment there. We could do things and gain things. But now this devil knows his time is running short, so he's throwing everybody up under the bus, even his own people. So how much more so you Jakes? So he's really trying to get you out of the way so that he can try to retain that birthright. And that's what it goes all back to, man. Knowing who you are, knowing what the birthright is, and knowing we in our curses, man, because we went against our Lord, man, our God, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. We started wanting to be like these other heathens, man. We broke the covenant that we made with the Lord, the agreement. And it's part of, our curses, but we're coming out of this thing. So you have to understand that. That's why it's very important to know in the breakdowns of these scriptures, man. And we get that through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Let me start off with the precept before I continue on. The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. So we're not in the time of rest, man. We're in the time of our captivity. We are considered spoils of war. When they conquered us back in 70 AD, man, we've been on the run ever since. This devil hasn't let loose until he finally got us under his grips. And now he's at the point now where he's trying to pretty much do away with us. And yeah, Jake, you're going to be oppressed, man. This devil he's going to do everything he can do because he have things set in order to keep you oppressed. You have some that make it through the cracks, but for majority as a whole of our people, he's been he's been putting that knee on your neck from birth, by breaking up your families, by putting you in these broken homes, with these dysfunctional mothers sometimes, and then put you into a system that, you got to work 3 times as hard, like you were saying, to try to prove yourself, and still that's not enough because they're going to always look out for their own, man. So arise and depart, for this is not your rest. because it is polluted. This place is destroyed, man. It's polluted. It's filthy. It's vile. It's set to destroy you. It's set to give you a sense of hopelessness, and that's one thing that these lot of Edomites now you start to see they starting to have that sense of hopelessness because Esau's let loose, man. He done turned loose, man. It shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. And you see Jake, man, he's catching hell. Of course, we all catching hell, in the society. Bad food, everything. The food is polluted. Your your wages, are not enough. Your rent is overpriced. Your mortgage is trying to buy a house. Everything's over damn price. The medicines they try to destroy you with, the air, the food, the water, everything is polluted in this place, man. That's why it's Babylon the Great, the land of confusion, man. But people starting to finally see, hey, this is not our time, man. It's not our time to party. We have to. It's not our time to party and bullshit because we have to be obedient to our agreement with the Lord, man, and look for that salvation. And that takes us down to verse 12. I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of thee. I will surely gather the remnant of Israel. So not all Israel is going to be saved this time, man. Only the elect, and we want to be counted as the elect. And how do we become the elect? Well, it's not of our choosing, but the Lord has already chosen you from the beginning. And you're going to understand these dark sayings, these prophecies in the last days. I will put them together as the sheep of Basra, as the flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men. So the Lord is gathering up his elect, man. And he's going to protect his elect. He's going to make sure, because from this point on, man, shit, that's just the beginning of sorrows, man. This shit's going to get a whole lot worse, man. He's just beginning. He has a whole plan laid out for destruction, you know. And, so we're going to need divine protection from our Lord on high and knowing the name, knowing who to call on. The book of Baruch. Let me see if I want to go to that one. Shalakia. Let me go to Isaiah chapter 52, verse 3. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money. So it's telling you right there, you in your captivity, man. You sold yourself into slavery by going against our Lord. So the Lord said he's going to redeem you without money. So no man can save you but the Lord. It's going to be Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. He's the one that puts you in a situation where you put yourself in it by going against the Lord. So now he's going to redeem you out of it, man. And he's not going to pay these devils to get you out. He's going to take you by force, the same way that you were put in by force. We're going to drop down to verse 5. Now therefore, what have I here, saith the Lord, that my people is taken away for naught. They that rule over them make them to howl. Their young brother, their young Jake, man, is howling, man. He's in sorrowful, man. He's lamenting. We all catching hell right now, man. Saith the Lord Yahweh, and my name continually every day is blasphemy. Let me repeat that. Saith the Lord Yahweh, my name continually every day is blasphemy. How is it blasphemy? Because you call the Lord outside of his name, man. You call him every damn thing else but his true name. It's not Jesus Christ, man. That's not the name of the Lord. That's the name that your slave master gave you. Why are you still calling on that name? His true name, we know the true name, man. It goes all the way back to the ancient Paleo Hebrew, but Jake refused to listen. A lot of times you have a lot of Jakes, they have a zeal for the Lord, but not according to knowledge, because they won't open into their eyes and receive this knowledge, man. A lot of them it's just not meant to be. That name is going to be a stumbling block to a lot of you Jakes, man. Therefore, you're going to be destroyed. Go over that again, verse 5. Now, therefore, what have I here, said the Lord Yahweh, that my people is taken away for naught. They that rule over them make them to howl, lamenting, suffering, said the Lord, and my name continually every day is blasphemy. Therefore, verse 6, therefore my people shall know my name. He makes it personal, man. You're going to know his name because it's a personal relationship. Not still calling on Jesus Christ because we know the true name of the Lord now. Therefore, they shall know in that day that I am he that does speak. Behold, it is I. I am, the great I am. Abba, our Father. Yahweh is his name. Yahweh Shai, the Son, our Redeemer. Let's look up this word blasphemy real quick. Blasphemy, the act of showing contempt, disrespect, irreverence towards Yahweh, sacred entitles, sacred entities, or religious tenets. What is blasphemy in simple terms? Saying offensive things about God or religion. And one way that you blaspheme the Lord is calling him outside his name, man. That's the ultimate disrespect, especially if you know my name. If somebody tell you what my name is and you still go outside and you have the ability to do the research, the name, you just can't take, you don't have to take somebody's word for it. Once you go back and look it up, you see what his name is, man. They wasn't calling him Jesus Christ back 70 AD during that time, 2,000 years ago. What were they calling him? But Jake is a hard-headed man. Jake is a hard-headed, gainsaying people. Refuse to listen. So that takes us to Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people, man. That proves our people, man. We are stiff-necked, hard-headed. Can't tell Jake shit, you know. Jake only listened to either his slave master Esau Edom or some Jake that's, in some high position. He's got to have a nice suit, speak eloquently in order for them to be able to believe the lie. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. They eat that lie all day long as it's Esau Edom telling them, or it's some Jake, like say in those high positions. But you feed Jake the truth, the unadulterated truth, there's something he go back and reproof. Jake don't want to hear it, man, because it's coming out of somebody else, coming out one of the prophet's mouth, man, and it's always been that way. For I knew they would not hear me because they is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves. And that's why the seal's been broken in these last days, so we know who we are. We know that we are the Lord's chosen people, man. You so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and a speckled bird that's scattered throughout. And it's not a color thing, because some of us going to look like these other nations, man. We're going to look like Moab. We're going to look like some Elam and even some Edomites. A lot of some these Edomites, even though they, because of the mixing, they still have blood that goes all the way back to my forefathers. It goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Verse 31, and shall know that I am the Lord their God, Yahweh. I will give them a heart and ears to hear. And that's why we hear this truth, man, this new song going out, because we know and understand how things are and why they are and what the end is going to be. And the Lord is going to protect his own, man. He's elect those that hear his call, man. Those that's beckoning to what he tell them to do, man. He's going to protect you same way he did when we was in the wilderness, man. We was going through it in the wilderness, during that time of our departure from Egypt. He made sure our shoes didn't wear out, made sure we had provisions, our clothes didn't wear out, that whole time. The Lord can do that. He's going to do that for his elect. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, and I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. And that's why we're always telling you, man, it's very important to know the name of the Lord. And a lot of these other Israelite groups will not teach the name of the Lord. They're still teaching you that slave master name that he gave you, Jesus Christ. And unless you think either they don't have ears to hear, or either they've been compromised, they've been polluted, in the land of their captivity. And that's going to be a stumbling block to a lot of you Jakes, man, knowing the name of the Lord. But that's pretty much it, man. I just want to kind of hit that, I thought it was interesting. People catching him, man. Like, say you see this young Jake, man. He supposed to be right now out there getting it. Making enough money to provide for his family. But the wheels are falling off in Babylon the Great. The writing's on the wall, man. This thing is coming to an end, and Lord will, it be soon. Those of us in this truth, we know why. So with that, say shalom.